Welcome to the JLLB Media Podcast, Episode 10.
Great to be here.
Today, we're tackling something I know a lot of you listeners are probably feeling. You're putting in the effort on social media, you're posting, maybe even quite regularly, but just feels like, well, like you're shouting into the void sometimes.
Absolutely. It's a really common frustration. You see businesses sharing content, maybe great photos, interesting updates, but the engagement, the likes, the comments, and, ultimately the customers, they just don't seem to follow.
Exactly, and that's why we're doing this deep dive. We want to unpack why just hitting post isn't really the magic bullet for social media success.
Right. What's missing?
Yeah, what are those missing pieces? And we're drawing our insights today from a JLLB media article called Social Media Strategy. Posting is not enough. Here's what your business is missing.
It's a really insightful piece because almost every business knows they should be on social media now, right? But the understanding of how to actually make it work effectively, that often seems to be lagging behind. The article really digs into that gap.
Okay, so the article kicks off by saying that for many businesses, social media just becomes another task on the to-do list. Oh, got to post something today. Why is that such a problem?
Well, if you're just going through the motions like that, your efforts are probably going to be pretty inconsistent. For starters, the article points out that this kind of sporadic activity, maybe posting heavily 1 week and then nothing for 2, it means you're not building any real momentum.
Yep.
It's like trying to learn guitar by picking it up for an hour once a month. You're just not going to get very far, are you?
That's a really good way to put it.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily the platform's fault then. It's not that Instagram or Facebook isn't working.
Not usually, no. The article really emphasizes that the core issue is often the lack of a proper, well-defined strategy. Without that kind of roadmap, you're essentially just like wandering around hoping something sticks.
Right.
And you miss out on the chance to actually build relationships, to really reinforce what your brand is about, and crucially to guide potential customers towards, taking an action.
And the article gets specific about why this post and pray approach doesn't cut it. Let's break those down. First, consistency, which you mentioned. What's the tangible impact of not being consistent?
Well, think about it from a user's perspective. You follow a brand you like. If they just disappear for weeks on end, what happens? You might forget them. You might unfollow. Maybe you even assume they've gone out of business or something.
Yeah, you lose that connection.
Exactly. The article implies that inconsistency really kills engagement. Your audience just drifts away if you're not showing up regularly.
Okay, that makes sense. Then there's the issue of unclear messaging. What does that actually look like in practice?
Okay, imagine a local cafe. Sometimes they post beautiful latte art, pictures of their pastries, great. But then maybe the next day it's a rant about local politics or a random meme that has nothing to do with coffee or community.
Ah, okay, so it's confusing.
Totally. The audience who followed for the coffee gets confused, maybe even put off. The article stresses how vital it is that your messaging is consistent and actually aligns with your brand's core mission and values. People need to know what you stand for and what to expect.
Right, you build trust that way.
Yeah.
The article also talks about one-way communication. I see this all the time. Businesses just broadcasting announcements.
Oh, absolutely. It's a huge pitfall. The feed is just sale announcement, new product, another promotion. But they never ask their audience anything. They don't reply to comments. They don't run polls or anything interactive.
Yeah.
And the article is clear. That kind of monologue just doesn't build relationships. Social media is meant to be social. It's a conversation.
A two-way street.
Precisely.
And the final big reason the article mentions is failing to track performance. That seems almost fundamental, doesn't it? Like driving without looking at the dashboard.
Exactly. It's like flying blind. If you're not looking at your metrics, like which posts get engagement, are people clicking the links, where's the traffic coming from, then you have zero idea what's actually working and what's just falling flat.
So you can't improve.
You can't optimize. The article strongly suggests you're probably just wasting time and money on tactics that aren't delivering because you don't have the data to tell you otherwise.
Okay, so it really hammers home the need for that strategy. The article then shifts to why a social media strategy is so indispensable. What's the fundamental change in mindset when you adopt a strategic approach?
I think the biggest shift is moving from seeing social media as this sort of isolated marketing task.
Yeah, separate from everything else.
Right. To seeing it as something deeply integrated with your overall business goals. The article really drives home that a good strategy ensures every single thing you do on social, whether it's a tweet, an Instagram story, a whole campaign, is done on purpose.
With an objective in mind.
Exactly. It's working towards something bigger, like building brand awareness, generating actual leads, or, driving sales.
So it's not just about being present online. It's about using that presence strategically to get real, measurable business results.
Precisely. The article draws a sharp contrast between just sort of tossing content out there versus a focused approach that systematically builds awareness with the right people, engages them in meaningful ways, and then, yeah, guides them towards becoming customers.
Okay, let's talk about the key ingredients of a strong strategy, according to the article. First up, clearly defined goals. What makes a goal effective here?
Well, the article suggests they need to be SMART goals,
Hmm.
specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
Right.
So instead of just saying, we want more brand awareness, a SMART goal would be something like increase our Instagram follower count among women aged 25-40 by 15% within the next 3 months. It's concrete. You know exactly what you're aiming for and how you'll measure it.
Got it. Next is audience research. This sounds like more than just knowing age and gender.
Oh, much more. The article really pushes for digging deeper. What are your ideal customers interested in? What problems do they have that you can solve? Where do they actually hang out online? What kind of content do they like to consume? What's their tone, even?
So really understanding who you're talking to.
Yeah, it's like building a detailed profile so you can tailor everything you do, your content, your tone, even the platforms you use directly to them.
Makes sense. Then content planning. Is this just about having a calendar saying, post this on Tuesday?
That's part of it, but it's more strategic than that. The article emphasizes planning a mix of content, not just sales pitches. You need stuff that educates your audience, maybe entertains them, inspires them.
Provides value.
Exactly. Value that resonates with that specific audience you've researched. And thinking about different formats too, video, images, stories, articles. It's about having a varied, valuable content ecosystem.
And the article also really highlights engagement and community building. Why is that interaction piece so vital?
Because, as the article points out, social media users today aren't just passive. They expect brands to interact, to respond, to listen.
Right, they want to feel heard.
Absolutely. So actively engaging, jumping into comments, answering questions quickly, maybe running Q&As, fostering discussions, that's how you build trust and loyalty. You create a community, not just an audience, and that community can become incredibly valuable.
Okay, and the last piece of the strategy puzzle is performance tracking and optimization. How does this close the loop?
This is basically the feedback loop for your entire strategy.
Yeah.
The article positions tracking as essential. By consistently looking at your analytics, what posts are getting shares, which platform drives the most clicks, what kind of content gets the most comments, you get these crucial insights. And those insights allow you to tweak things, refine your content, adjust your posting times, maybe shift budget between platforms. It's this ongoing cycle of measure, learn, adapt, improve.
Right. Now, the article also tackles a big question. Is great organic content, stuff you don't pay to promote, is that enough on its own? And it suggests, probably not anymore, why is organic reach so limited now?
Yeah, the reality is, and the article touches on this, the algorithms on platforms like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, they've gotten really complex. They tend to prioritize posts from friends and family, and often paid content gets preferential treatment too.
So even your own followers might not see everything you post.
Exactly. There's just so much content out there. The platforms have to filter it somehow. So your organic post might only reach a small percentage of your audience, unfortunately.
So that's where paid social media fits into the strategy.
Precisely. The article frames paid social as a powerful tool to basically bypass some of those organic limitations. It lets you target very specific groups of people based on demographics, interests, online behavior, location.
People who might never discover you organically.
Exactly. You can expand your reach significantly beyond your existing followers.
And the article mentions retargeting as a really key paid tactic. Why is that so effective?
Retargeting is super powerful, as the article suggests, because you're reaching out to people who've already shown interest. Maybe they visited your website, right? Or they looked at a specific product page, or maybe they even put something in their cart but didn't buy it.
Yeah.
Showing targeted ads to those people is incredibly effective because you're reminding them, nudging them, keeping your brand top of mind right when they might be ready to convert.
And it sounds like using paid social can often get you results like leads and sales faster than relying purely on organic growth.
That's generally true, yeah. The The article implies that while organic is crucial for long-term community building and trust, paid campaigns, when done well, can give you a much quicker, more direct boost in traffic, leads, and sales because you're actively putting your message in front of a targeted group with a specific offer.
So the ideal, according to the article, is really a blend, organic and paid working together.
Absolutely. The synergy is key. Your organic content builds the community, fosters the loyalty, creates brand advocates, while your paid campaigns strategically expand your reach, drive traffic for specific offers, and accelerate growth. They complement each other perfectly.
Let's swing back to engagement again, because the article really emphasizes this. It's not just an advertising channel. What are some practical ways businesses can actually boost that two-way conversation?
Yeah, the article gives some great actionable tips. First off, just be responsive. Answer comments, reply to DMs, acknowledge mentions, and do it promptly. It shows you're actually listening and you care. That builds so much trust.
Simple but effective. What about encouraging interaction more proactively?
The article suggests using things like polls and quizzes, especially in stories. Ask open-ended questions in your captions to get people talking. Run Q&A sessions, maybe go live on video and chat with people in real time. Basically, invite people to participate.
Make it easy for them to engage.
Right. And another powerful thing the article highlights is user-generated content, or UGC, featuring stuff your actual customers post about you.
Ah, like testimonials, but more visual.
Exactly. It's amazing social proof. When potential customers see real people loving your product or service, it's way more credible than the brand just saying it themselves. Encouraging and sharing UGC is like content gold.
And finally, the article mentions collaborating with influencers. How does that play into engagement?
Well, partnering with the right influencers, people who genuinely align with your brand and have an engaged audience in your niche, can be a great way to tap into a new audience and borrow some of that influencer's credibility.
So their recommendation carries weight.
Yeah, their followers trust them, so when they talk about your brand, people listen and are more likely to check you out and engage.
This has been super insightful. It really clarifies that just posting content randomly is probably not the best use of time or resources.
Not if you want real results, no, it has to be intentional, strategic.
It's about having that plan, understanding your audience, engaging genuinely, and actually measuring what's happening.
Exactly. When you approach it that way, social media stops being a chore and starts becoming a really powerful asset for growth.
So for everyone listening, maybe take a moment to think. Is your social media activity right now more of a time sink, or is it actually driving your business forward? Is it just a cost, or is it a strategic investment?
That's the key question, isn't it?
It really is. And if you feel like you need help shifting from just posting to actually implementing a strategy that works, well, the JLLB Media team can help you with social media strategy, advice, and implementation. Visit jllbmedia.com to request a free consultation.